this time we're pushing from Minnesota into North Dakota. And while going in there, I had kind of a thought that I would just like to share with you all. So, here goes nothing.
Welcome to Not America. I use the term Not America was coined by a friend of mine when we were having a debate in college. And I forget what the debate was about, but I said people in North Dakota and Montana probably would disagree with you. And he said, that's not America. He wasn't trying to be mean or snide or kind of dehumanize the people here. He was just saying they were more sparsely populated, and because they didn't live in such densities as cities of other areas, their votes didn't quite count. They weren't cultured enough to know what was right or wrong. And being out here, it is quite isolated, but that doesn't mean these people have any less vote. Which kind of brings me to what I wanted to talk about. North Dakota is one of the few states which is actually a state that's running a surplus nowadays. And one of the reasons they're doing it is because of fracking. Now everyone has an opinion of whether fracking's good or bad, if we should do it or not do it. My opinion on it, I should only decide because I'm a New Yorker of whether or not we frack in New York. If North Dakota wants to frack, let North Dakota frack. I don't see why my opinion matters. California opinion shouldn't matter whether or not Oregon fracks, or if Oregon should care if Texas fracks. The whole gist of it is let people decide to do with their land as they please. Now I know some people think that we need to get involved, but we don't care if Canada fracks, Mexico, China, Russia, any other country fracks. We don't invade. We don't do anything to try and stop them from fracking. So why should we try and stop a state? If the people in that state wish to frack, let's let them frack. Now I know people say of the pollution thing, and I understand their concern, but let the people who live in that understand if that's going to be an issue. Because whatever fracking, it has not been shown to actually have a detrimental effect on the entire planet. Also, when it comes to these things, I don't understand why we should impose our will upon other people. I know people even say, well, there's federal land. As long as it's not a wildlife reserve or a national monument, I still think when it comes to federal land, the state should be given the kind of the wherewithal to do what it wants with the land.
Well, I hope you like that. People can debate whether or not we should care if people are fracking in other states because, well, that conversation can go on forever. But let's get back to the ride. As you can see, staying off the highway and getting on those little back roads is actually well worth it. There's far more in North Dakota than most people think when it comes to motorcycle riding. But one thing I would like to point out is their kind of dubious use of signs. If you look here, they have a sign, pavement ends, which is all well and good, but I have a problem with it. If you look here, you notice there is no pavement by the sign. Now the correct placement for this sign would be before the pavement ends, like several yards before the pavement ends, not several yards after the pavement ends. This was kind of really inconvenient and could be dangerous for some people. But I digress. Moving on, it can get confusing the scope of this land because it just goes on and on. Looking at all the farms and looking at all the things, I was wondering, and there are no farmer stands at all. The land is vast, the land is very green. It's amazing some of the huge sprawling facilities that come out. I imagine how much food is actually produced at some of these places. Some of these towns only exist around a single building that just kind of jumps out of the landscape at you. Truly, it is worth it to kind of get lost in North Dakota and find your way around. watching this video, and please subscribe if you want to see them tomorrow.